Children with autism typically engage in repetitive behaviors in multiple contexts that impedes their social functioning. These predicaments resulting from their rigid patterns of responding decreases their opportunity for meaningful social interactions, skill acquisition, and obtaining general reinforcement in generalized settings. Intraoral social skills are often most difficult to teach and generalize under these conditions. Several effective strategies and interventions have been developed over the years to increase novel and varied responses. The terminal goal of this study by Lee in 2016 is to increase the total number of divergent responses to categorical questions utilizing interval prompts with FFC. This study looks at interverbal behavior, which is described as verbal behavior with which a verbal antecedent stimulus evokes another verbal response that does not have point-to-point correspondence to its preceding stimulus. There are two types of interverbal responses, that being divergent interverbal responses, in which a single stimulus, in the case of the study, a question, controlling multiple responses. Opposite to that is convergent control interverbal responses, in which multiple stimuli control a single response, as is seen with the interverbal prompts. The interverbal prompts from the therapist involve prompting that does not have point-to-point correspondence to the target response. In the case of the study, those involved FCC, which is questions containing the function, the feature, and the class of a target stimuli, FFC. This is the convergent control in which multiple stimulus, the statement of the three stimuli that invoke the same one response. In the example of the study, they give the prompt, guess what? You can eat this thing, that being the function. It's yellow inside, that being a feature, and is a fruit, that being the class. The single response to these three stimuli would be the response, a red apple. They use these interverbal prompts to aid in avoiding the child engaging in the rote pattern of responding or the simple repetitions. And these prompts were also relatively easy for practitioners to implement.
If an individual was displaying rigid or repetitive patterns of responding, there are a few ways to counteract this. So the first thing you can do is to ask the target question in various forms, such as tell me some red stuff, or name things that are red. The other instructional programs the child is engaged in is spread out among the training trials. So this is the second thing that you could do to counteract the responding memorization. The third thing is the interverbal prompts of the 5 selected target items that are presented, and they're to be presented randomly. And if the child is observed providing rote chained responses, an interverbal prompt will be provided after delivering the target question to evoke a different response sequence. The study had one participant who was 6 years old and was able to label more than 100 items and had nonverbal and verbal communication skills to communicate his wants or needs. The design was a multi-probe design across behaviors, and there were 3 types of responses that were reported in the study. So there was the taught responses, novel responses, and previously emitted untaught responses. Sessions were videotaped and inter-observer data was taken. The results of the study indicated that the total divergent responses gradually increased, as did the continued generation of novel responses. In addition, while the first target color question was undergoing intervention, an increase in the total number of responses for subsequent target questions also increased from their initial probe trials, indicating that the possible generalization of responses to similar or different categorical questions. Our baseline condition, Haley is the therapist, and I'm the participant.
Tell me some things that are yellow.
Lemon.
Any more answers?
I don't know.
This is the intervention. Name as many yellow things as you can.
Lemons.
What about the guy who is square, makes you laugh, and is on TV?
SpongeBob.
That's right! Guess what? You ride this thing in the morning to school. It's long, and it's a vehicle.
Fire truck.
A fire truck is red. It's a school bus. There's a thing that you eat, you have to peel, and it's a fruit.
Banana.
Great work! 2 weeks later, they would run a maintenance probe assessment, which would look something like this. What things are yellow?
Ducks, school buses, lemons, cheese, and sunflowers.
Awesome! Any more answers?
Bananas, SpongeBob, and Big Bird.